When you see yourself, you gotta be yourself. Hello, everyone. I am Joel Walkowski, and that's just not something I say to start the show because you gotta be yourself. Who am I? I am someone who worships the big man in basketball. And what better start to this show than by me starting it by cleaning up the glass, a la Ben Wallace, a la Andre Drummond, a la every friggin' basketball game I've ever been in. And we do have a Props Network tradition here.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay over there?
Yeah, there's
you
shit
spilled
happening.
A gallon of water in electricity. You're acting like you're put a toaster in the bathtub. Why don't we run the show that way tomorrow?
All right.
Okay, so I'm cleaning up the glass. I dropped a piece, and I did drop. You know what I broke? I broke a frame picture my mom made me of me and Matthew Stafford 10 years ago. I brought it out of storage the day of the trade. I put the frame in my desk, and as I was closing out like 30 seconds ago, everything broke. I cleaned it up because I got a little dog running around here. I love her. She's gonna come up to me during the show, and I don't want her to get the glass. So that's about par for the course. And we all have bad days, and I had a bad day yesterday, and it's totally my fault. I had a pretty good season. I was 43-28 yesterday, and just kind of treading water. I felt pretty good about all my plays, and then I just changed my process. I was here. I was enjoying Suns, Pelicans, and everything was on track at halftime. And a buddy came over. He was doing a little videography for me. I haven't been out of the house other than walking the dog in like 5 days because of Blizzard. I was like, oh, I'll give him a ride home. I'll be a nice guy. I'll give my fiance the apartment to herself. And that fucked me. That fucked us. We were all on that Suns play. We were all on Mikal Bridges. We were all on, Brandon Ingram under of 22.5. He got 23. And that's on me for being a good person when my skill, my core competency in this world is being a entertaining, somewhat degenerate gambler. So I'm sorry for that last night. I am pissed off. I am chaotic. And luckily, I'm just taking it out on my desk. So let's have some fun here. Just my quick hitting observations from watching a little bit of the league last night. First of all, I love going down the rabbit holes when I research this. So I'm going to talk a bit about the Grizzlies today, and I was going through their pro basketball reference. They have the top 12 players in terms of win shares in every team's history. You have a photo of them, no name, on the top of each team page. Go to the Memphis Grizzlies page. There will be players in there that if you are a diehard NBA guy, you will not be able to pick them out of a lineup. I got 11 out of 12, and I could not believe the 11th guy was in the top 12 of any team's win shares. So we are going to go into the Grizzlies, but let's get there by talking about Bradley Beal, huh? Because one of the things that messed us up last night was I liked the Wizards in Miami, and something happened 2 hours before the game where Beal was kind of thrown around in trade rumors to Miami. Now, I love Bradley Beal. I don't think the Wizards have ever used him correctly, and I don't think he's ever had a good coach. Dude's 26 years old. I want to see him in a better situation, and it just doesn't seem like it's a well-run thing there, and I'd hate to see like his entire career wasted. I mean, he fits the modern NBA as well as anybody. His shooting splits are comparative to Steph Curry's, and so is his production. The fact that Washington hasn't put a contender around him, that's not an indictment on Beal. That's an indictment on Washington. I mean, because when you have someone who's efficient like Beal, having guys like John Wall who don't have the same playing style, but they also don't shoot at very high clips, that takes one of your great strengths as a team and turns it into something that as a team, you're just okay at. We study, we talk about, we examine the effect of true shooting on win percentages. So I don't think that's a good strategic move. I'm knocking Brooklyn for weighing true shooting too much, but hey, I would rather do that than not account for it at all over, 6 years of this promising young guard's career? Get out of here. Bradley Beal needs his own team, and I guess he has one, but I wouldn't call anything the Washington Wizards have done a real basketball team. Scott Brooks has never shown me shit. The only thing he's shown me is that if you are a mediocre retread coach, you're going to get plenty of opportunities. We also saw that in Suns Pelicans last night. Monty Williams, Stan Van Gundy. So let's get into the games. Let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. They're hosting the Houston Rockets. These are maybe among the two hottest teams in the NBA. And there is a little bit of a correlation because Victor Oladipo, he's in some trade rumors today. However, the Rockets were in a back-to-back last night. The Rockets have John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, and those are two guys who are coming off of giant injuries. There's a lot of injured players who I don't think will be great on back-to-backs tonight. Those are two of them. And on the contrast, we haven't given Memphis nearly enough credit. Taylor Jenkins is a very good coach. Look at the Western standings. Look at where the Grizzlies are. And then look at the players who've been in their lineup this season. No Triple J all year. No Justice Winslow all year. And I know maybe he's not that contributor, but I still got some Justice Winslow stock. I don't have any more Doge. Did all right. Thank you, Elon. But not your roommate, Elon, Sam. Another Elon. I only like your Elon because I use his Netflix password, but I'm allowed to do that because in my stand-up, I gave away my dad's Netflix password for 15 years. So I'm digressing. So I think it is kind of incredible. If you look at the Grizzlies record as compared to the teams to who's been in their lineup, every crappy thing I say about other coaches, I mean, there are these kind of mediocre retreads, guys like Brooks, SVG, Monty Williams, and I think there's a new batch of really great young coaches. Kind of started with Stevens, went into Nick Nurse, and now I love Coach Nate in Indiana. Love what Taylor's doing in Memphis, and even Coach Borrego in Charlotte. So there's a really nice young batch of coaches coming along. And that being said, I really like the Grizzlies here. I think this is a showpiece game for them. I think they're playing a wonderful style, and that John Morant, it's kind of like John Wall is going to be matched up with himself from a decade ago. I kind of like the guy who's a decade younger in that situation. And even if the Grizzlies have been winning, Ja hasn't been up quite to his level of last year, and he's been a little banged up. He's kind of spreading the ball around. And I think it is fair to say that Dillon Brooks might be the most unheralded player in the NBA. Looking at his production, looking at what he adds to a team, and seeing how it's now consistent over 3 years, maybe he's not an all-star, but this is definitely someone who can be in the starting lineup of a team that goes decently far into the postseason. So we see this line is Houston opened up +1. Now they're +3. I like Memphis here very much so. I think there's a lot of variables to like there for Memphis. It's the back-to-back. It's the age. It's the fact that they're the hottest team in the NBA and have been very good at home as of late. So of the things I care about, I think a lot of them are exemplified by Memphis tonight. I don't think they have a better roster than Houston, but I think they're a better basketball team right now, especially on short rest. So let's watch them over the course of the season, because there's going to be some jockeying for some 7-8 seeds down the line. And tonight there's a couple good matchups to really get a feel for some matchups we might be seeing later on in the season. Rockets Grizzlies is one. I think with Oladipo in there, Houston will maybe contend for a playoff spot the way they're playing. So let's watch how these two match up. There's going to be some meaningful games between these two down the line of the season. So maybe you don't make this a huge unit bet, but maybe you just throw a little bit out there, you evaluate, and then you get an opinion on how these rosters match up together. And then next time, once we really get a slant on it, once Memphis probably has 2 of their top 8 back, I think this could be a bigger play down the year. So I'm going to just throw a little bit down, and then I think we're going to see some tendencies that really support Memphis tonight. So just to be full disclosure, I'm playing with $25 units. I didn't get a stimulus because I'm in friggin' grad school. Thanks, bud. But yeah, I'm there. And another game that we could see later in the season, we will see later tonight, later tonight in Los Angeles, we have the Denver Nuggets at the LA Lakers. The LA Lakers are, I think, 5-point favorites. Where did that open up, Sammy the Manny? Okay, it opened at Nuggets plus 5.5. It is at Lakers plus 5. I like the Lakers here. There's a couple of offense-defense matchups I like here, and Denver has probably the best offense in the NBA. The Lakers, they don't really match their pace or their style of play, but they can always get buckets, and that's one of the better defenses in the NBA. And, it's going to be fun to watch this Anthony Davis and Jokic matchup. Of the people who can maybe guard Nikola Jokic, there's 3 of them, and Anthony Davis is one of them. I can't wait to see this matchup, especially given the tear that Jokic has been on. I mean, look at the guys in this game. You got Jokic, you got LeBron, you got Marc Gasol, you have the backup point guard on Denver, whose name I'm not going to even dare try and pronounce without, walking around and asking an Eastern European in my neighborhood. I live in Greenpoint in Brooklyn, so it's very easy for me. I'll know it tomorrow. But there's 4 of the best passing players in the NBA. And it might be an offensive explosion. There might be a great flow of offense here, but I expect the Lakers defense to win the day. I skew towards the Lakers here, even though there's so many times LeBron's let me down in the regular season. LeBron does not care about the point spread. And that's why, I go Jordan over LeBron in the GOAT debate. I'm going to go with the guy who bets on his own game. I'm just having fun. The Nuggets, they do look like a whale here. They do fit my model, but I've been watching those, and what handle do you see on that one, Sam? What are you seeing? Tell me. 52% bets, 71% on the money line.
I mean, that is the whale tail supreme there, isn't it? Not?
It is. And I'm considering adding a couple of just safety checks to the whale tail.
Yes. A whale tail can't go unchecked. I agree.
No, it can't go check. So I think unders are a little bit problematic. I think
unders. Got it. Unders problematic.
And I do see that matching up. And I do think when you're seeing over 50% of the money and 70% of the bets, I mean, that still makes me think it might be smart to go the other way with less. I mean, if 35% of the money are on the Lakers to cover, I don't know. I kind of see that. I kind of see the under here. And even though I like the under, I like a slower pace of play than Denver is anticipating. I like the Michael Porter Jr. over points. He's been having some great games lately. He's on national television against LeBron James. And there's a lot of guys who tune that stuff out, focus on the basketball related activities at hand. I don't believe Michael Porter Jr. is one of them. Can I close this window? It's fucking up my light. Can I take a second to do that without you guys getting mad at me? Sorry, the sun shifted here. I don't live underground yet.
You look crazy.
Yes, I got to close the window. We can go over here. Yes.
What happened?
Well, the sun moved, so I'm gonna just go close it. You guys can see my plants. Look at. Oh, wow! Hold up. We got a guy. He's going down the road. He's just rolling a big tire down there. Can you see that? I'm reporting live. You see the man rolling the tire?
That's that new workout, right?
I was actually a street performer in 2008. I was homeless living on Venice Beach, and I would wear a unitard and I'd bounce around on a tire. So that's a fun fact about your humble podcast host who's struggling to close some friggin' blinds right now.
Do you have any video of that?
I do.
Okay, well, I need that.
You're never going to find that from me. I know what you do with good pictures of me, so I'm not going to give you compromising footage whatsoever.
Send it over. Oh, God, that's worse.
What the hell?
What are you doing? You're supposed to be a professional gambler.
I don't know what's happening with our lights. We're being attacked.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Looking good.
Whew. That was stressful. Did the tire guy come through?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, Jamoke, the Suns have shifted too. The Suns burned me last night. Where was I? I love talking hoops, but we went off the rails on that one. So okay, yeah, I think Michael Porter Jr. I'll blindly back that over. And I'm sorry, I had a really tough time back finding any player props this morning. They weren't listed on any of the sites I normally have them. So I don't know what was going on. I tried to track them down. I spent like 20 minutes doing it, and they just weren't listed. So blind props I like. Michael Porter Jr. points over. He's going to be gunning in that spotlight. And that's partially the reason why I like the Lakers in the under. Michael Porter Jr., I can definitely see him gunning his team out of a game because he wants some national attention on Twitter. Definitely. Okay, so if we have any viewer picks, anyone wants to chime in, I do have one more here, and I'm going to base this solely on the model because, yeah, my model tells me about the Nugs, but my model is also pointing to the Sixers in a back-to-back tonight. And, man, that Charlotte Sixers game was awesome last night. Sixers had them, and then Charlotte, every time I watch them, I'm a little bit more impressed. They fought back. They were down 5. There were such thorns in their side the entire game, and like the character there. And now I would never really want to bet on a team in a back-to-back, but this is defense against offense night. That's our general theme. We think the Lakers will beat the Nugs, and that's going to be the what we're doing today. So I think that a injured Blazers team with a lot of their key guys out and with no real matchup for any of the size or athleticism on the Sixers squad. I mean, even Tobias Harris is a matchup problem in this one. That does not bode well for Portland. And Portland has to come down to earth. I've been wrong about them a few times in the past week. I'm going to continue to do so until I'm right. I actually like the Blazers quite a bit, but man, that rotation is really going to catch up with them at some point. I swear it's bound to happen. It's physics. It's a universal truth. You can't play with such a thin rotation in the most talented NBA of all time. So yeah, I think this loaded ass Sixers team is going to take care of business. I also like the under in that one. Maybe I'll get real conservative and I'll actually tease the Sixers and the under in this one. We see the under is, let me check that eye line. 222. Yeah, this one, wow, this one is skewing down. Is there something that just happened with that injury report while we were on the air? So that might be that's a big shift in the line. So I'm going to stay away from that. A lot of movement. So maybe that was already hammered down. So we are too late to get on that. But I will stick with the Sixers and the tease here. I'm happy teasing it up. I'm happy teasing the Sixers. Margin of victory down. This is one of the rare instances where I do like an NBA tease. And one last player prop. I kind of lean towards Golden State against Dallas in the early game. I think they're a little bit more rested. I don't think it's going to be a good night from Porzingis. Dallas is on a back-to-back. I cannot think of a player who is like, he's right in that John Wall and Boogie Cousins category of guys who I'm really wary of on back-to-backs. They might even be sitting him, but I think it's the same like effect on the team. Either way, there's not going to be a lot of production there. So if you can find the Porzingis points under, take it. And that's what I'm leaning for today. I am all over the Grizzlies. I am all over the Lakers. And I'm going to tease the Sixers and the under, and I'll probably just watch the TNT games tonight. I'll have the Sixers Blazers on a monitor, but it's good tonight. Thursdays, it's with a kind of weak slate and TNT bringing out the stars. Just throw on Chuck and Kenny and Ernie, not Shaq though. He can go to hell, and then just that you're good for the entire night. Love Thursday slate of the NBA, and I can't wait to play it. I'm going to hang out here a few more minutes. Obviously, you guys have seen how chaotic my day is, so maybe I have some other matters to attend to at some point, but I'm happy to answer any questions, any comments, or concerns. What do you mean by tap is unpredictable? Tap. Is he talking about tap water? If you grew up with me in Flint, Michigan, yeah, you would probably say tap's unreliable. That's something we know about that. That's something people are going to differ. I don't want to clown about that. Any other games on the slate tonight? I would throw $1 million at the Jazz money line against the Hawks. I would, yeah, and that's just my big play. Oh, Chris Stapps. Yeah. That makes sense. I should have gotten that nickname. That one's on me. You call him Tap. Why? Because it takes him about 45 minutes to heat up. What'd you miss? Dennis, it's been crazy today. I broke a big plate of glass when we started. My blinds, somehow the sun shifted. I was blacked out, and I did show someone rolling a tire down the street. So it's been a wild one around here. As far as picks go, I waxed rhapsodic about the Memphis Grizzlies. I compared them to the Wizards, and I'm backing them. They're my favorite pick tonight. And the Grizzlies are the one thing I'm really bullish on. And apart from that, I talked myself into the Grizzlies, and I talked myself into the Lakers, and I talked myself into the Sixers. Okay, so you want me to look at the futures, Sam? Okay, pull up those futures for me. Dame prop points over. I definitely see that, but as I pointed out, Yellow Jesus, great name. Is that a Jesus who happens to be from the continent of Asia, or is that a Jesus who's a little bit cowardly? Please answer that in the comments. Sixers Blazers over. I am against you on that one. I think defense rules the day. I just don't see a lot of physicality in that Blazers team. They're kind of small. That rotation is thin, and 224 is a bunch. I appreciate you guys watching the show, Dennis, that you are my friggin' man. I look forward to hanging with you guys every day. I look forward to all you guys every day. My fiance told me last night, you got to stop talking about the basketball group. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so what about the Joker having a triple-double versus the Lakers? What are the odds on that? That seems like a fun one to throw down on. If you're not with me on the Lakers on that one, I could see Jokic triple-double being a fun one. I just feel like call it just a gut feeling. I know sometimes I do like more statistical-based stuff, but I just have a hunch we're going to see some knuckleheaded play from Michael Porter Jr. tonight. That's my idea. That's what I'm looking for. And if I think he's going to disrupt the flow, yeah, I think so. I can see Yellow Jesus says he likes the Nuggets money line. I mean, if you are going to back the Nuggets, there's tremendous value in that. Sammy boy, pull up the money line for our friends. Yes, Nuggets money line. They're always good. Oh, 40-1 for a Jokic triple-double. I'll put $5 on that for sure. I mean, yeah, that's a good way to spend 40 million Dogecoin. So player props. The best part about this show, maybe it's me cracking jokes, maybe it's me breaking shit or making picks, but I love to watch Sam struggle to find props sometimes. Yeah, teams do usually struggle on the first game back after a long road trip, but you don't think they're going to get up for this one? I think these two kind of have each other circled on the calendar, and I think we saw them play so much in the end of the Western Conference. I thought LA kind of figured them out, and I'm going to back that until proven otherwise. I think this is the Lakers' league. More specifically, I kind of think it's Anthony Davis's league, and unless their turnaround is going to come out, I think it will belong to them. So if the Nuggets are plus 170 as a money line, though, take it. That's a great return on one of the 5 best teams in the world. And if you want to bet that, you can go to BetMGM. You can use code WALKON20, and they will match your deposit. And I feel you guys. A lot of people are telling me they're enjoying the show. Subscribe. Nuggets first quarter, I would probably back that. That's right around 10 o'clock. I don't know if I will be in or out of my video poker game. I I don't want to have anything going at the end of that window because 10 o'clock is kind of where, the money starts to pile up. There's some big hands. So I'm going to have enough on the virtual table come 10 o'clock, but I can see that Nuggets first quarter being a fun one. It's weird. I wish the NBA was giving us more Thursday games. We only have like 5 tonight and there's no real value. NBA free agency stinks for some teams. They leave ASAP. Free agents won't come and drafted players leave. Go Magic. And but is that the case? I mean, definitely there's been some instances in Orlando's past, but they misplayed the Shaq situation, first of all. And then they misevaluated a couple of their own players down the line. Like, wouldn't you rather have a team built around Victor Oladipo and Tobias Harris than one around Aaron Gordon and Vucevic? I mean, you picked Evan Fournier over Victor Oladipo, and maybe Orlando has to still come back from that. They did get so snake bit, though. I really like Orlando, even though they handed me my worst gambling loss of all time last year, game 1 of the playoffs. But, I love Jonathan Isaac. I'm someone who is the only person who plays defense in a pickup game. I love him. And as someone who's been bullied, who's had bad situations in my life, who's had my mom mess with some of my affairs, I want to see Fultz do bad, thrive. And I will say that the worst thing that ever could have happened to Mo Bamba was having a number 1 song come out about him before he was ever in the league. I heard that and I was like, oh no, that poor kid is fucked. That's too much too soon. You think Glenn Robinson getting $100 million on a rookie contract is going to ruin him? I'm pretty sure Mo Bamba getting a number 1 song will have the same effect. Everyone's following on Orlando. I'm not going to pile on too much because I'm a fan of Detroit basketball, so I cannot clown on Orlando for being a poorly run franchise when I think we just stopped paying Josh Smith like a week ago. So you are safe with me there, W. Bennett. I do like Orlando. I like going down to perform in Florida. Jacksonville's a good town to do stand-up in. Worst bomb of my life was in Tallahassee, though. Never going back to FSU. Okay, Yellow Jesus. I think he wants to host his own show here at the Props. Now he's got more picks than I do. He's got more picks than Draymond Green on the perimeter in 2016. And just to respond before I get out of here, it's been a great show. I know everyone listens to Bill Simmons if they're a basketball fan. He was wondering what was wrong with Draymond Green yesterday. It's like, Draymond Green played the most physically taxing style of basketball of anyone in the past 15 years. He guards 1 through 5 on defense. He gets defensive rebounds. He would take it the length of the floor in fast break and initiate offense and draw contact. Yeah, of course, this guy's going to fall off at 31. And I know because I have the same playing style and I'm in pain all the time. So I feel you, Draymond. Hey, we're getting the show going. We are talking shit. We are talking trash. And if I'm throwing it out there, just my background, I was an insult comedian for 10 years. People would pay me to go to their town and write insults. So if I shoot the shit with you a little bit, if you clap back, that's just who I am. It is all love. It is all just like my favorite thing to do. And I appreciate you coming out and hanging out, Yellow Jesus. Truth is, I live for this shit. Once I get out of this quarantine shit, I'm going to be setting up on the basketball courts in New York City. You can make fun of my horrible jump shot form, but I know if I get you out there, I'm getting everyone on that pump fake. But what a fun day. Can you believe I didn't have a single sip of water while talking this entire time? Okay, so everybody, I'm going to be back on the Props Network today at 5:30 talking about the history of Super Bowl betting. In between, I'll be doing some homework. And I will also be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I think maybe a little bit earlier because of the props drops, because we haven't set a time with that, and that's on my bosses here. So I don't know the time for that right here. Do I have a Twitter? Yeah, I am the Walkowski on Twitter. I am Joel Walkowski on Instagram. It's a lot of sports jokes. It's a little bit of Wall Street talk. And then on my Instagram, I do make like comedic videos of my weekly NFL Sunday picks. It's just a lot of fun, and I enjoy making sports content. I think it could be smart and funny, and I feel like the bigwigs in media, they push these storylines like Tom Brady and LeBron, and like I really want to see these games broken down. I don't care about superstars or brands. I care about this game. All right. Well, can you invest in the company? My man, you can invest in me. We're going to do all right. We're going to do things. And really, like, I've been doing shit here for a long time. And I think this model is what works. Like talking to you guys directly, having a chat about basketball, doing the work beforehand. This is what we are good at. And let's have some fun. So I'm going to go do that homework. I'm going to go walk my dog and stop standing in this broken glass. But as always, I had a great fucking time today. I shouldn't have sworn there, but that's just how much fun I'm having here. This is the most fun thing I've ever done for money, and let's keep it going. Let's make some more. And though tonight is a tough slate, favorite pick is the Grizzlies. And then I will be playing around with something on the Blazers, Sixers, tying the Sixers to the under. I know Dennis mentioned tying the Sixers money line to the under. Maybe I'll do a tease instead. We'll see. I'll see how I feel at 7 o'clock. And then also I'll be throwing a little bit down on the Lakers and the Porter Jr. under and the Porzingis under on the year. I was 43-28 yesterday. I either went 1-2 or 0-3. I left my sports notebook in my fiance's car and she's at work right now. So I don't know the record. What a doofus. So hit that subscribe, hit that like. And until next time, this is Joe Walkowski for the Props Network, walking off.